How can you thrive as a church through a multitude of unified and diverse leaders within your congregation? How can you make sure your deacons, your elders, or your ministry leaders, your pastors, all together on the same page? That's what we want to talk about today. And there are 3 steps that I want to share with you.
Churches need to be leading the way when it comes to technology. Gone are the days where the church can be behind the curve, where we are slow to catch up to new technology. I think we need to be out front and leading, so when whatever is thrown at us, we can respond with the best tools available. And so in the context of generosity, make sure that income can keep coming in, which obviously keeps the doors open, keeps the gospel being preached, and keeps the kingdom advancing. So I'm going to talk about 3 things specifically, 2 things about how to increase recurring giving, and just 1 overall foundation point that I think, anyone who's listening to this is going to agree with wholeheartedly.
Leaders like you, like me, we're trying to see our churches diversify. Our churches are in communities that are diverse, but yet oftentimes our congregations are not diverse. These tensions are real. They're not merely rooted in political, preferential, or personal differences. No, they are grace matters. They are heart issues that God's grace must influence and thereby reflect in our lives. So today I've come to talk to you about the fact that grace matters. But I've also come to discuss grace matters. Have you ever said, I wish I could get more black people in my church? I wish I could get more Hispanic people in my church. I wish everybody in my church didn't look the same. I wish our church reflected our community. I know people are saying it and get calls like that all the time. And let me say this, just because your church is not diverse doesn't mean you don't want it to be or you don't love all people, but it's a problem. Heaven's going to be diverse.
I really want to talk to you about how to bridge the gap from your system to get them into a membership class, to get them into a discipleship class, to get them into something that you would call them member, that you would call them joined, that you would call them discipled, because that's the goal, right? That's what the Bible tells us in the Great Commission when Jesus himself tells us to go and make disciples for him. So because of that, we've here developed something called the 4-step meeting. It's truly taking our process and putting a person to our process and allowing us to grow.
I think we often struggle at being proactive with time management because there's a sense of guilt involved. So when you prioritize your time, you have to learn to say no. I mean, actually, you have to learn to say no much more than you say yes. And to know what to say no to and what to say yes to, those are things you have to pre-think. And that's why I'm saying you have to be proactive in thinking through it. And then relieving yourself of the guilt of saying no. One of those is an 8-day week. I jokingly call it that because as my staff, when I tell our staff, like, look, you can have 2 days off as long as you work 6. And I realized there's 7 days in a week, but what I was playing off of is all about time and how you schedule your time.